Good morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. I am Zain Arifeen from Tyndale Biscoe School, class 3rd Red. Today, I will tell you a story by Ruskin. I love to read stories by Ruskin, gifted by my parents. My story's title is Mukesh Starts a Zoo. On a visit to Delhi with his parents, Mukesh spent 2 crowded hours at the zoo. He was dazzled by the many colorful birds, fascinated by the reptiles and charmed by the gibbons and chimps and awestruck by the big cats. There was no zoo in the small town, so as soon as he got home, he decided that he would have a zoo of his own. Yes. I'm going to start a zoo, he announced it at breakfast the day after his return. But you don't have any birds or animals, said Dolly, his little sister. I will soon find them, said Mukesh. That's what a zoo is all about, collecting animals. Tiju and his sister Koki lived next door. Tiju helped him to catch a lizard. You will be my head keeper, said Mukesh, and soon he and Tiju were at work in the back garden. What else can we have in the zoo? Asked Tiju. We need more than a lizard. There's your grandmother's pet, said Mukesh. That's a good idea. We must have the pet. Then what else? Well, there's my dog, said Mukesh. He is very friends, but the dog isn't a zoo animal. Mine is. He is a wild dog. Look, he's black all over, and he's got yellow eyes. All right then, we have got a lizard, a parrot, and a black dog with yellow eyes. Cookie has a white rabbit. Will she lend it to us? And there's Sitaram's donkey. Sitaram, the dhobi boy, usually uses a donkey to deliver and collect the laundry from the houses. On Saturday afternoon, a large placard with correct spellings announced the opening of the zoo. Children were allowed free, but grown-ups had to buy tickets at 50 paisa each. And Koki and Dolly were selling homemade tickets. Mukesh and his friends had worked hard on making notice for the various enclosures. The first attraction was a large packing case filled with house lizards. Then came an enclosure in which Koki's white rabbit was on display. Freshly washed and brushed, it looked very cuddly and was praised by all. Behind wire netting was Mukesh's dog, rare black dog with yellow eyes. Tethered to a mango tree was Sitaram's small donkey, and tacked to the tree was a placard saying "Wild as from Kutch." There was also a duck that did not seem to belong to anyone, and a small cow that had stayed in on its own. But the star attraction was the parrot, as it could recite 3 different prayers over and over again. They had collected about 10 rupees when there was a disturbance in the enclosure. The black dog had finally managed to dig his way out of the cage and was trying to dig his way into the rabbit's compartment. Meanwhile, the donkey had finally snapped the rope that held it, and braying loudly disturbed everyone. Koki went to the rescue of a rabbit. The dog now turned his attention to the duck. The duck flew over the packing case while the dog landed in it, throwing lizards in all directions. Oh, that was a mess. In all this confusion, no one noticed that the door of the parrot's cage had slipped open. The bird shot out of the cage and flew off. The parrot's gone, shouted Dolly. Granny's praying parrot has escaped? Tiju wondered if she would believe him if he told her it had flown off to heaven. Mukesh had an idea. I know, he said. We'll get another one. How? Well, there's the 10 rupees we have collected. They hurried off to the bazaar, where they soon found a bird seller who was happy to sell them a parrot not unlike Granny's. It looks like your grandmother's parrot, said Mukesh on the way home. But can it pray? Of course not, said Koki, but we can teach it. Koki's grandmother, who was short-sighted, did not notice the change. Every morning he stood in front of the parrot's cage and repeated Granny's prayers. Within a few weeks, the bird had learned to repeat one of them. Granny was happy again, not only because her parrot had started praying once more, but because Tiju had started praying too. Happy ending. Bye-bye. Thank you.